Hello, it's good to see you. Today we are going to be making a red, white, and blue wreath. It's going to be for Independence Day. I wanted to go ahead and get that ready. So we're going to take a look at all the materials that go into making this wreath. First of all, we have lots of red, white, and blue. I'm going to show you the mesh first. Now, for this particular wreath, all of the mesh came from Dollar Tree. Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes I have to go to other stores to find the mesh that I need. Fortunately, for this particular wreath, I got into Dollar Tree right after they put out this mesh, so I was still able to get some. They even show sort of like a red, white, and blue wreath in this picture on the paper inside the cellophane for this decorative mesh. That's an interesting one. It looks like it's done in rolls, little rolls. Sometimes we roll our mesh. In this one, I think we're going to go with the starburst technique. So I have one roll of just plain red mesh. Now each roll of this mesh is 6 inches wide and 5 yards long. Now this mesh is not, it's only $1. So it's not going to be the same quality mesh as a $10 or $15 roll of mesh. And it doesn't have as much on it. But that's okay. You just need to use a little bit more of this. So we have just the plain red. Isn't that a pretty red? It's a very nice red. So I have that one. And I also have a roll of just plain white mesh. This one has the same picture on it there. And now some of these have metallic stripes in them, and this also does. It's kind of iridescent. It's really kind of hard to see. It's just going to look plain white in the wreath. So I have one roll of that, and then I have a roll of this really pretty blue. I love this dark blue mesh. It is so pretty. Look at that. So we have this really pretty dark blue. So I have one roll of this. So for this wreath, we're going to have a total of 6 rolls of mesh. The first 3 are going to be just the solid colors like this. But the good thing about getting to Dollar Tree early was that I was able to grab some of these. Now, these are striped rolls. These are usually the first to go. And I picked these up probably about 2 months ago, I think. So they put it out really early and they don't have much, and it disappears really fast. You have to grab it when you basically have to be there to see it when it first goes out. But this just incorporates the red and the white and the blue. The pieces going this way in this mesh are all white. So it's like red and white and then just white and blue and white. So I have 3 rolls of this right here. And people ask me all the time, how much does it cost to make one of these wreaths? Well, it really depends on what's going into it. It's kind of like saying, how much does a car cost? How much does a house cost? It depends on a lot of factors. Most of these wreaths, a big part of the expense is the decorative pieces, the decorations. They can be kind of expensive sometimes. The ribbon can be very expensive because I like to use wider ribbon, and typically the ribbon I use in these wreaths is not available at Dollar Tree, so I end up having to go to Michael's or somewhere like that. And they have a better selection, but it's more expensive. Some of the rolls of I can spend as much as $20 to $30 on ribbon, depending on the wreath. Sometimes the ribbon can be very expensive. I think the most expensive wreath I ever made cost me about $70 in supplies. I have made them for as little as $10 to $12, but they're not going to have a lot. They're going to be kind of sparse. They're not going to have as much of a variety of ribbon and stuff like that. So yeah, it varies widely. This wreath here, I added it up. I did a rough estimate. I think this wreath is probably going to cost somewhere between $40 and $45, and that seems to be about average. Most of them are around the $40 to $45 range, and a lot of the expense is in, like I was saying, the ribbon. Now all of this ribbon came from Walmart. I went in there just to see what they had, and they had a nice variety. Dollar Tree didn't have any of the ribbon that would work for this wreath, so I had to get it all somewhere else. But this is all of the ribbon is from Offray, Offray. This is a really pretty chevron stripe ribbon. It's red and white. This ribbon, I believe, is it's 1.5 inches wide and 9 feet. So yeah, this is a really pretty one. I like this. But these rolls like this, I think they're either $4 or $5 each for these. But I wanted a lot of variety. I love a lot of ribbon in my wreaths. I always do. You know, you can use more, you can use less. It's totally up to you. Whatever works for you, that's the right amount of ribbon. Or you can leave it out altogether. You know, you can do it any way you want. I'm showing you the basic technique, kind of like Bob Ross with painting. I show you my technique, and then you can take that and gather your materials, and you can just do anything you want with it. You can just go crazy. You can make all different kinds of wreaths. Like, I found this ribbon at Dollar Tree about a week ago, and it kind of has a camping theme. It was several different types of ribbon, and it had this sort of like a camping outdoorsy theme. So I thought it would be fun to make a camping wreath. So I'm going to give that some thought and see what I can come up with, because I thought I already have some stuff that would work. I have a lot of brown mesh. If I could find some dark green to go with it, maybe some burnt orange to go in there, I think that would be really pretty with the camping ribbon and stuff. And I also picked up from Offray this blue and white chevron stripe. It's just like this. It's just blue. And it's the same amount. This is 1.5 inch ribbon, and it's also 9 feet of this one. So I have 9 feet of both of these. Okay. And then I found this pretty, it's like a flag. It's like the American flag. You have the red and white here waving. And you can't really see a lot of it, but we have the blue with the white stars on it. This is also from Offray. It's 1.5 inches wide, 9 feet long. So we can do that one. And this one is really nice. I like this one. This is grosgrain ribbon. It kind of has has this ribbing to it. This is the same, 1.5 inches wide, 9 feet long, and you have your blue, red, and white stripes, and then the blue with white stars in the middle. Very pretty. I like that. So there's that, and I also like to use some thinner ribbon as well. So I have 2 rolls of thinner ribbon. Now this ribbon, I believe these are $3 each. I have 2 of these. This is 5/8 inch ribbon, and it's very similar to this with the stripe with the star in the middle, except the stripe is red instead of blue. 5/8 inches wide and 12 feet of this striped ribbon here. And it has dark blue on the outer parts, and then a white stripe, and then red with white stars. And then finally, I have from Offray also this red, white, and blue striped grosgrain ribbon. This one is also 5/8 of an inch wide and 12 feet long. So they sometimes, for some things, you can find skinny ribbon like this, and even 2.5 inch ribbon at Dollar Tree. But this time, all they had was the mesh. But I went ahead and got the mesh, and of course, I got the wreath frame at Dollar Tree. And all of this ribbon, look at so many different patterns and things. I like it. So all of this came from Walmart. And then to put it on, we have the 14-inch wreath frame, the wreath ring. These are from Dollar Tree, so they are only $1. Now you will notice there are 4 wires here. You have this outer one and the inner one. For what we're going to be doing, though, we're only going to be using the 2 inner wires right here. We won't be attaching anything to these right here, the outermost or the innermost. We won't be doing anything with that, just the middle. So this is what we're going to be working with, and it doesn't look very big now, but by the time we get done adding all of our bundles and our decorative items to this, it's going to look much larger than this. It's going to stick out about that far away from the edge of the wreath frame. It's going to be a lot bigger. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the mesh and the ribbon, and we're going to make bundles, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And in order to hold your bundles together, you need something. So we're going to use fuzzy sticks. This is the rainbow pack, because look at all these pretty colors. You have a little bit of everything in here. I love these. You can find these at Walmart for less than $3, and it has 100 little pipe cleaners in it. And I had this in my tote up in the attic with all my wreath stuff in it. I picked this one out because there's some blue in here and red and white. So I can mix these up and do my bundles with red, white, and blue little pipe cleaners, or chenille stems, or fuzzy sticks, or whatever you want to call them. And then I can save the rest of these for another day. We can use them for a different wreath. Now, for each bundle, we're only going to use half of one of these. So I cut these in half. And I do that with these little cutters right here. I don't know who made them. They're from Cobalt. K-O-B-A-L-T. I think they're made for cutting wire, but they work great for cutting these little pipe cleaners. So each one is going to do 2 bundles. And I find that for most of these wreaths, I end up making between 50 and 55 bundles. It seems like most of the time it's kind of in that area. Sometimes it's more. It's not often very less. It's usually at least 50. So we're going to need a total of 25 of these pipe cleaners here. And I cut them with that. Yeah, so we have these. I find it's better to buy them in bulk. It's cheaper that way, but you can buy individual colors for less than $1. I think you get 25 per pack if you buy just all of one color. I think they're about 89 cents or something like that. And then we have our decorations. We have to decorate our wreath. I have these 2 bouquets. Now with tax, all of this together was about $8 for all of these pieces here. Yeah, look at that. So we're going to have some flowers in here. These also came from Walmart. We have white, and then we have these little, kind of like little roses with red petals and blue and white plaid petals. And then we have balls. Look at all the balls. Patriotic balls. You've got these little styrofoam balls that are coated in glitter. We have blue ones, silver, and red. I'm probably not going to include any of this greenery here. I'm thinking I'm going to leave that out because I want to just stick to this main color theme right here. I really don't want to, have a bunch of green leaves in it. Let's just leave it like this. So this is what we're going to decorate with. It's a lot of stuff here. I don't know if I'll get it all in there or not. I may not. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that's everything we're going to need to make the wreath. Oh, and one good thing for cutting ribbon that I like are my little Fiskars spring-loaded little scissors. See, they have the springs, so you just do like that. And they have silicone on the handles to make them comfortable to hold. And with this piece here, it locks in place. Now you have to be careful with these though. They are very sharp on the end. They're extremely sharp. So you have to be careful. Don't lay these down anywhere where you might sit on them or put your hand on them. They'll poke you. They're very sharp. But yeah, that's everything we need. And now I'm going to show you how to make your bundles for this wreath. We have everything ready to start making our bundles. I have pieces of ribbon here. I cut all my ribbon up. I tried to cut each piece to about 9 inches long. It doesn't have to be exact. If it's not exactly 9, it doesn't matter. And you will notice with my ribbon, you see how it's kind of nice and finished here on the ends. That's really easy to do. To do this, it's called dovetailing. And I've done that to all the ribbon, even the skinny ribbon. So you have a piece of ribbon here and you want to do that. So you have it cut straight across to start. You just fold it in half lengthwise. So here's the fold right here. You're just going to take some scissors and you're just going to cut off that corner. Like that. And there you have it. And then you have a lot of pieces lying around. I don't know if you can see it. There's a bit of blue glitter on my nails. I painted them black and then I went over it with one of the new Sally Hansen Instant Dry Prismatic colors. It's called Moonstone. I was looking at the blue ribbon, it just made me think about it. It's very subtle, it's really neat. Okay, so again, you fold it in half lengthwise. And you just cut that corner, and it's just like that, see? So that's going to give you that nice, pretty, finished edge right there. And I'll show you on one of the skinny ribbons here. Same thing. You just fold it in half lengthwise. And you cut that corner. And I just think it makes it look a little prettier. A little bit more finished. It adds a nice detail. Just like that. So see, you end up with a nice finished edge on that one too. It really works with any ribbon, it doesn't matter. Again, you just fold it in half lengthwise. Take your little scissors and you just see, here's the fold right here. You just take your scissors, cut off that corner, and look, gives you that nice dovetail. It just takes a few minutes and you can do a whole bunch of them like that. So we have all of our ribbon cut up, and I've laid some samples of it up there for me. And I took 2 of the blue pipe cleaners and cut them in half, 2 of the red, 2 of the white. And we're going to make a few bundles. We're not going to make this many, but we're going to make a few, and I'm just going to try to use different colors every time. But again, it doesn't have to be exact. So in order to make bundles, now all my mesh is also cut into approximately 9-inch pieces. To make your bundles, we're going to use the mesh and the ribbon. So you take your mesh and you pull it. You take these corners here. I was told not to call them opposing corners. Take opposite pieces. It doesn't matter. You can call them Elmer Fudd if you want to. I don't give a crap. Take the opposite corner. Somebody had to lecture me on the use of the word opposing. I don't care. It's Friday. Leave me alone. Opposite corners. Get it right. Now, this is the starburst technique. The way I do it, you pull. You don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to mess up the mesh. Then you just kind of press and just sort of walk your fingers over, and you're going to take the mesh and just roll it, kind of roll it into itself and pinch it in the middle, and you have a little bow tie right here. Now, don't let it go, because if you do, it'll just sort of go back to the way it was. I hold it between my fingers like this. Now I think for these bundles, we're going to do 4 pieces of mesh per bundle. So I'm going to get another piece. Here's a red one. Again, you take opposite corners, pull them, and then you just take your fingers, press, walk them together. Then you just kind of roll it up on itself, lay it on top of this one. Hold them together. Just keep them together, because if you don't pinch them like that, they come apart. And we'll take a piece of the striped mesh. See, here it is. I'm going to grab this piece, this corner, and this corner. And you're just kind of pulling it diagonally. You can really see it with this mesh, what I'm doing. Should have started with this one. And then you just push it. You're keeping that tension on it. You hold it down. And then you fold it together. Put it on there like that. So now we have 3 pieces done like that. Let's do one more of these because we're going to have more of this stripe mesh in this wreath than the solid colors. But I'm going to do each bundle a little differently. You get those corners, pull them, walk your fingers together, roll it up, put it there. I want a life where somebody using the word opposing incorrectly is the biggest problem that I have. I do. That would be something. Then you take a piece of the wider ribbon, you put it on top, like that. And now, so this is all going to be part of the same bundle. And then I'm going to take one of the skinny ribbons, put it on top. So you have all these pieces. And you take one of your half pieces of pipe cleaner, you lay it across perpendicular like that. Now here's the tricky part, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. You're going to fold the ends under, grab all this, fold it in half, grab a hold of it. You're not going to hurt it. And then you have these ends of your pipe cleaner. You're going to twist them together at least 3 times under here, and then you can let it go. This is one bundle right here. This is one. I'm going to do at least 50 for this bundle, probably closer to 55 or 60 to make a nice full wreath on that 14-inch wreath frame. Alright, so here's one. Let's do another one. We'll start out with a piece of stripe mesh, and you will get little bits everywhere. It's really good to keep a trash can or a trash bag nearby to put all your little bits in. Grab it like this, and this is for the sunburst technique. If we're doing rolls, we would do this differently. So you grab it. Oops, it's trying to stick to itself. Grab it, pull it, hold that tension, walk your fingers together, roll it up, hold it like that. Oops. Now this white mesh was really kind of weird. It's very stringy. This is not a great roll of mesh, but we'll make it work. You just have to handle it carefully. That's one thing about Dollar Tree mesh, is that sometimes you will get a roll that's it's just kind of ornery, and it doesn't work well. The red and the blue are okay. Grab the corners, pull, hold that tension, walk your fingers in, roll it up. And the more you do this, the faster it goes. Okay. Here's a blue one. We'll do the same with it. Roll it together. Bring it up here. Let's do this piece. And one of these striped ribbons. And a blue pipe cleaner. So you lay it over top, perpendicular, like that. Pull it under. That's 4 pieces of mesh. Hold it, twist these together, and then you can let it go. Like that. Okay, so that's our second bundle. For the third, we'll take this stripe piece, grab these corners, pull it. You don't have to pull it hard, just a little. Hold that tension, roll it up, just like that. Take a red piece. I'm just grabbing pieces at random. It doesn't matter. Roll it up, lay it on top. And you'll end up with these little strings.
A lot of times I wait until the wreath is all done to get the loose pieces out. And sometimes you end up with a lot of these loose pieces. But that's okay. Take a blue piece, grab the corners, twist it together, put it on top. So you get that nice little curl, little spiral. Another striped piece. Pull it, roll it together, put it on top. Let's go with a red and white chevron stripe here. And I have a little 5/8 inch ribbon here. I'll put that on top. I always put the wider piece on the bottom and the more narrow piece on the top. A white piece of pipe cleaner. See, it's kind of perpendicular to this stuff. You pull the ends under, fold it. I try to even these up where they're about the same length. Twist it at least 3 times. Let it go. And there is another bundle. Now we have 3 bundles ready. Let's do one more. We'll start with this red piece right here. Grab the corners, pull, hold the tension like that. Don't let that tension go. Roll it up like that. Your little bow tie. There's a white piece. We're going to grab the corners carefully because this mesh is very flimsy. Roll it up. Oops. Sometimes I'll make a mess. That's okay. We'll do a blue piece. Grab the corners, pull them, roll it kind of in the middle, put it on top. And I have a striped piece. And I'm going to roll it, put it on top. And see, seriously, I'm going slow so I can show you what I'm doing. I can go faster when I'm just doing it. That's what she said. So then we're going to put this piece here with the stars. And we'll do the stripes. That basically just covers up the stars. That's okay. Blue pipe cleaner over the top. Should I do red? I don't care. Fold it in half. Pinch it. Twist it at least 3 times. And then you can let it go. And just kind of fluff it out a little bit. Like that. Okay, now we're going to add these to the wreath form. Now here we have the wreath form. Now the part, it sort of bends out like this. It's like it's concave. That's the front. We're actually going to be working on the back side, and you can't really tell, but this side kind of is convex like this. So this is the back, and I'm going to have it turned upside down with the back facing us, so I can show you what I'm doing. Okay, so say we take this bundle right here. Now you will notice that this form is separated into sections. You have these wires on here that hold it together, and it breaks the wreath form up into 6 of these sections like this. Each one of these will have 8 to 10 bundles in it. And here's how we're going to attach them. So again, this is the back side that we're looking at here. This is the pretty part. This is going to be facing out. So you take your bundle and you're going to use these 2 inner wires. So you take the ends of your pipe cleaner so that it straddles these 2 wires, and then you twist them together so that it's straddling those 2 wires like that. And then we take another one, and we're just going to do the same thing. take the two ends so that they straddle those two inner wires, twist them together, and you can actually take these ends and sort of tuck them under. You don't have to. When the wreath is done, these are not even going to show on the front. But I think when you tuck it under, it gives it a nice finished look to not have all these little ends of the wires sticking out. All right, here's another one that we made. Again, you take the two ends, straddle the two inner wires, and then you're just taking those ends and twisting them around one another. And you tuck them under like that. And here's the fourth one that we made. And again, you just keep doing that. You take every bundle, straddle the two wires, and then take the ends of the pipe cleaners and you twist them like that. Tuck them under. And there, now these are going to be really close together when the wreath is all finished. Right now, here's what it looks like. And it doesn't really look like much right now. It looks kind of weird and floppy, but when we have it all filled in, it's going to look very different. Now I'm going to keep making bundles, and I'm going to keep attaching them to the wreath form. And then when we come back, we will see how it looks with all of the bundles on the wreath form. Well, I have the wreath ready. I'm going to show you. It turned out really cute. Now, I did run into a bit of a problem when I was creating this. Okay, so I used the 6 rolls of mesh, but it still looked really sparse. I was not happy with it. It didn't look full enough. So I went up into the attic. I didn't have any more of what I showed you, but I went up into the attic and I looked through the mesh that I did have. I didn't have any dark blue, but I found this lighter blue from, I think, something we did back at Easter. So I thought, well, let's work in a little bit of this lighter blue. So I've done that. You can see there's a whole roll of the lighter blue mesh from Dollar Tree in here. And I found some from Christmas that was red. The only red I had was this red with a little gold in it. So there's also a whole roll of the red with the gold stripe in here. And I added another 2 rolls of just plain white mesh in here. So we ended up with a total of 10 rolls of mesh in this wreath. And on the back you can see all the red, white, and blue pipe cleaner halves that are holding all of these bundles together. There were a lot of bundles. I used up all of the ribbon and 10 rolls of mesh to get it to this point. I was a little worried about the light blue. I wasn't really sure if I would like it, but I actually kind of do. I think it looks nice. Yeah, so it's really pretty. So now what we're going to do, now that we have it to this stage, we're going to add our decorations. We have all this stuff here. I'm going to be cutting these. See, what I do is I take my wire cutters, because these stems are plastic coated wire. So I use my wire cutters and I'll cut them maybe about 1 inch below the actual flower. And then I use hot glue. I have a little hot glue gun and I just hot glue them into the wreath. You know, just wherever they seem to look good. I just place them and glue them. So I'm going to add all of this, well, as much of it as I can, to the wreath. We're going to work this in there. And then we'll come back and we will see how this looks after we add all of our decorations. Alright, I added all of the flowers to it and the little glitter balls, the little decorative things. I think it turned out pretty good. So here it is. It is just covered. It is covered in blue balls, red balls, silver balls, white flowers, blue flowers, red, white, and blue flowers. It's like a Dr. Seuss book, the way it just goes on and on. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, 1 fish. No, look at that. like I told you, it's a lot bigger now than, it's much larger than the frame was. But there it is in all its glory. I really like it. I think it turned out really nice. I think I'm going to surprise my dad with this. I think I'm going to give him this. Just because, he's a Vietnam vet, so I thought he might like to have this to put up. Yeah, so I'm going to take him this as a surprise. And when I go see him in a couple days. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this come together, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again really soon.